Hello everybody, welcome back. So it was always going to be a bit of a low budget video, and it's probably going to be like this for the next couple of days while I'm away. So I'll be back on Saturday, and we'll do the live stream Saturday, which normally we'd do one on Friday, but we'll do it on Saturday. So but a basic overview of what's going on now is that the bounce that took place from this bottom zone here is turning into a very early stage, and it is very early, as in it's too early to call it, but an early stage of what could potentially be an accumulation zone. And the entire zone, I suppose, you can map out on the daily. And initially, what I would be looking for is a bottom level of 33,500 to a top zone, to be honest with you, a top zone of around 45,000. And that would be, that is essentially the center of this Bollinger Band. So it's quite a large range, obviously. Now, within that range is, I suppose, the bull bear kind of vibe taking place from probably it's about 36,500, but give or take, we could narrow it down to maybe as low as 35,000 flat, but around I'd probably say 36,500 to the top of this zone here, which is the daily exponential 200 exponential moving average. So there's zones within zones, and this is perfectly normal, and this is absolutely fine. If we go to the weekly as well, we also see that historically we have bounced. We've shown this on many videos. Historically, we have bounced in bull markets and in bear markets at least 100% on, even in bear markets, when you come down to test this 50 exponential on the weekly. So we come down to test it, and lo and behold, we are bouncing so far so good. So I'm not saying that we're going to have V-shaped recovery, and I said this on my last video that I'm not looking for that kind of that move, and that would lend itself to a further retest of the absolute lows, and maybe even lower, and maybe going into a bear market. At the moment, this slow and steady reaccumulation, even though it's, like I say, too early to call it, is looking quite nice on the 4 hourly. So we're getting higher lows and potentially higher highs, which is good. We've also got the first portion of the Ichimoku cloud going green over here, projecting a potential signal take place. Probably not anytime soon. First of all, we need to close above this cloud. We also need to have this Chiku span above the cloud as well. So that doesn't look like it's going to happen at any time soon. But if we can carry on even in just this sideways trend, areas of about 38,000 over the next week or two should give us a signal here on the 4 hourly Ichimoku cloud, which should then pump us up. I'm not talking straight to the moon, but strong buy signals, which is something that we haven't seen in a little while. We've not seen any buy signals in a while, and we still don't. So I have to stress, when you're in an accumulation period, which this could be, again, it's too early to call anything right now. But if we are in an accumulation phase, we will get things, going with buy signals and sell signals and buy signals and sell signals, and we will hash out and flesh out a certain range. And it's that range which, in my opinion, is likely to be hashed out at the moment. So there might be potential upside, potentially all the way to the top side of the range. We're talking 45,000 or so before a rejection. Again, the daily is still clearly in a downtrend, and the daily is more powerful than the 4 hourly. The 4 hourly gives us some little telltale signs that the bottom could potentially be in. The daily, again, way too early to say anything right now. We're in very bearish territory on the daily. But the weekly showed us, and again, this is something that we've gone through several times now, the weekly shows us that actually, historically, whether it's bull market or bear market, when we come down to that green 50 exponential moving average on a weekly, you're going to get a significant bounce. Not a measly one, but a decent one. And the fact that we haven't had a super dead cat bounce, moving up by 100% really quickly, leads me to believe that this isn't the bubble pop or the bear market everybody's talking about. That actually what it is an accumulation period that's about to get hashed out for a long period of time, maybe weeks to months, and then we will then carry on with the rest of the bull market. Again, when it comes to altcoins, that's something we can talk about on the live stream. And I've made my position quite clear about what I'm expecting, or should I say not expecting, from altcoins. But again, not all altcoins are created equal, especially these days when the market is definitely way more mature than it ever has been. You could argue that this is the first time that some altcoins are getting treated and taken seriously. So it is a different scenario, different market. We can't look at everything and go, well, the Bitcoin dominance says this. It's not that simple, and the market is definitely not that simple anymore. In fact, there needs to be a broader way of looking at the overall market, considering how mature it's become, And I'm talking maturity in a technology driven way, not so much its speculative value. But again, this is all stuff for the live stream. It's just a real quick and short video for me to say that, yeah, we look like we have clearly put in a local low, and whether we accumulate here for a period of weeks to months, which is my preference for a bull market to continue, or we go into a V-shaped, potentially what would look like a V-shaped recovery. If we did go into a V-shaped recovery, I would be pretty skeptical, and I would be looking to take out some of the profit I've made on these bounces alone, because it would lend itself to a further downtrend, and potentially at that point that would be like bubble pop kind of zone. You see these V-shaped bounces, 100% bounces in a bubble pop, and that's not what I want to see. I want to see an area that's being reaccumulated in, slowly but surely and healthily, and then get some buy signals. I don't want to see bounces that start going up to and maybe even above 50,000. It made me very, very skeptical about the future, of Bitcoin and basically the entire crypto market for the rest of this year. I definitely do not want to see that. As nice as it would be in the short term, especially for everybody thinking, yeah, my gains, my losses, it's all coming back. If you start to see things like that, be very, very skeptical, because that's not a healthy market at this stage. It was okay before because everything was bullish, the chart was bullish, indicators are bullish, moving averages are bullish. They're not bullish now, so if you do start to see things like that, I would be very, very skeptical. Take the entire move with a very, very large pinch of salt, probably even a couple of tablespoons of salt, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but I wish you good luck in what's going on for the rest of this week. Like I say, it's, for me, trying to make these videos in the conditions that I am at the moment, it's going to be quite hard, but I will try and keep you updated. But that is basically the situation. It's more or less the same as we've said before over the last few days, and it's playing out the way that I not so much expected it. I mean, I did expect it, but it's also the way I want it. So I'm actually quite happy with the way things are going, and I'll leave it at that. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.